still.
Does everyone have prayer books, Mount Source? Anyone need any? We do.
There was no cash back, which is, I'm told, very unusual.
That's so strange.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah, but I'm glad that.
Because I think a lot to do with our.
Right.
No, we're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to tell you not to do it.
Okay.
Are you trying to say hi?
I was going to say hi. How are you? Yes,
Finally got you. Yeah. Better than you. Sure. I mean, nobody underlined there. Underrated. She's like, oh, I didn't even know where they were. And I was trying to get, yeah, I was trying to get the kids, you know.
You ready? I was going to start the.
Zoom's off. My nephew landed in America 6 hours before the airplane. He's okay.
Yeah, I'll bring up.
He's going to recover. He's fine. He's apparently exhausted. Time is up. Yeah. It's dramatic. Because Reg going on. Yeah. About that. The blessing you say.
Not yet.
It's called Mel.
Yeah. Full, you used to my full capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. There were a bunch of young people. It was fun to talk with people afterwards.
Very damaged and he fled there.
Sweet conversations that happened
Everybody.
following pictures and things. Yeah, just so different vibe.
He went to where all the tourists and foreigners were.
Yeah.
And apparently found a room.
Yes.
He couldn't go to sleep. Catch up on
Full of energy and
I don't know if he's
yeah.
what would they do?
Something like that.
Well, I don't know.
I think she's mid to late 30s.
I think so.
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the work so far. Looking forward to
Okay, yeah.
I am having a good time.
Also, I'm But I heard that you set up. It's happening. We've got it. The hot tub. My brother just got it. I know. Yeah, it's my spiritual path. When you go out, like when you're not when you start, what do you hear?
You want to start singing, you want to start about teaching. Ariel.
I mean, yeah, just a big room sometimes.
What? Who's teaching?
It just doesn't feel necessary and like another thing to teach in a. Do you feel really strongly about it? Yo, yeah. Except we're all of my notes. Okay, can you put this on the ground or something? Ashrei Yoshvei Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha On Yehalelucha Selah Hayya Yadadayda Hayya
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Buen Shabbat. This is so exciting. We get to be here with not just the amazing Rebecca. I think that should be your official title, the amazing Rebecca. And
You got
Rabbi.
that, Brian?
Yeah, write it down. Amazing Rebecca. And Rabbi Ariel, and all our friends from Malo and CBH together. This is really sweet.
Amen.
Yeah. So we'll do some talkie. We'll do some words. We'll do some meditating, hopefully through the words. We'll do some transformation through the words. And then we're gonna, we know that the music sometimes cuts through all the stuff that the words can't do. So if the words don't work for you, we'll do this a little bit. And then we'll go for some music, and you'll hear some melodies that will be familiar and maybe a good reminder for what's coming up for the next couple weeks. And then we'll make some changes in the arc. And it's going to be hopefully a multimedia experience that you appreciate. We're going to start with some teaching. Like I said, here's the word part. We'll sing, though. The blessing for Torah study, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's from my friend Rabbi David Paskin, put this to music and added the words hafoch ba v'hafoch ba, which means turn it and turn it. That would be the Torah. Everything is in it. That's from Pirkei Avot. And we'll start with Yadadai. Here we go. And also hello to our friends on Zoom. So glad that you are here as well as the folks in the room. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai. Yadadai-dai-dai. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai. 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 Yadadai-dai-dai. Baruch. Baruch. Atah Adonai. Eloheinu. Melech haolam. Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah la'asok b'divrei Torah hafoch ba v'hafoch ba la'asok b'divrei Torah. Yadadai-dai-dai-dai. 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 Yadadai-dai-dai. So we're going to look at some Talmud. If you were here for Shavuot, you heard us talk a little bit about Talmud. It's hard to summarize on one foot, as they say, but it's basically a record of stories, legends, laws, discussions from rabbis who became the teachers of the Jewish people starting about 2,000 years ago, and the rabbis of the Talmud go up to about 1,500 years ago. There are 63 tractates of the Talmud. It takes up a shelf. This is, and almost all the holidays have a tractate for each holiday has a tractate. So this is from tractate to Rosh Hashanah, which I understand is coming up soon, right?
That's what I've heard.
You've heard, yeah, it's a rumor going around.
I'm still in denial.
You're in denial. It's good.
One more week.
So in the transmission, we lost some of the formatting. We still have bold and italic, but it's gone in the back. We'll get it. So we've got a little combination here of some legends, some teaching, and some. It's not really law. right? This is interesting. I'll stop talking. Let's read the first paragraph. Could I have a volunteer where it says Rabbi Yitzchak and Abby? Oh, not yet. Well, that'll be later during the service. Yeah, I'll give you the cue. But for the Zoom people, I don't know, Zoom people, can you hear us? I have a feeling you can't hear us. If we, oh, no, I mean, you can hear me. I had a Shabbos nap. Did I mention that? I'm still waking up. Oh,
I have a microphone.
oh, you have a microphone. That's what I was really
Yep.
trying to say.
Yep.
So for anyone who reads,
Yes.
I'm going to make it, I promise. If someone want to take the microphone and read. Oh, thank you, Jackie.
Rabbi Yitzhak said, three circumstances cause a person to remember their sins. When they pass by an insecure wall, when they think deeply of the significance of their prayer, and when they invoke divine judgment on their neighbor. Rabbi Abin says, whoever calls down divine judgment on their neighbor is punished first.
Okay, so I know it's hard to make the case that the Talmud is funny, but I think that's I think these are a little funny. I'm sorry. So, what do you make of this list that cause you to remember your own sins? Yeah.
Sounds like the first one is imminent danger.
Right, so if you're going by a shaky wall, the implication being, Jack, why don't we hand that back to Ruben? The implication being, thank you, that you pass by a shaky wall, things are not looking good in that wall, for that wall, should be on. And then why would the imminent danger make you think of your sins?
I think it just is like an instantaneous cheshbon nefesh, you know, like, oh, maybe I messed up, or maybe this is my karma for having done something terrible.
Can you define cheshbon nefesh for our friends?
Like an accounting of your soul and your especially your misdeeds in this context. Like, how did I mess up
Right.
that I deserve to be, threatened with this wall?
So modern Hebrew cheshbon is a check or a bill. So if you want the check at an Israeli restaurant, cheshbon. Shar lekabel cheshbon. So this is an accounting term, but for your spirit, for your soul, right? So that's what we're supposed to be doing, in theory, during this month. Oh yeah, I might die. So it's like your life passing before your eyes, right? Prayer. We hope it works. Those of us who do this for a living, we hope that actually kind of makes us think about ourselves. The invoking divine judgment on your neighbor, though, that one made us giggle a little bit.
I mean, I think that's like a very positive thing. It's sort of, if you're being judgmental of someone else, like think about your own faults first. That's kind of it's definitely tongue in cheek, but I feel like that's the most aspirational one.
Right. I think you hit it on the head, right? Like this is actually a teaching, right? Like, if you think this about your neighbor, you should think about yourself, right? I don't think that's the necessarily the first. Didn't invite me to his birthday party. God should punish him, right? And I think this is like, oh yeah, like who did you forget to include, right, in your, whatever, right? So, so we've got this list here. We'll come back to that in a second. The things that remind us, right? Partly the reason we do Selichot is that it's like not just to get the melodies in your head. It's like, oh, well, this is really happening, right? Not just for clergy. Like, oh, this is like really happening. We call Rosh Hashanah Yom Hadin, Judgment, Day of Judgment. It's happening. This is real. And right, Rabbi Alan Lew says this. The name of his book is "This Is Real, and You Are Totally Unprepared." Right? Like really, like this is happening. Like, let's get ready. even if you just think it's a drama, if it's created, right? We talked about this last time that we gathered together for our Elul class. Even if you think this is make believe, right? Like we're creating this cosmic drama, to get ourselves to do this, right? You don't think there's an actual book of life, right? It's like, okay, well, if this is what we said we were going to do, if this is in the Kaplanian folkway, custom, and moray that we've decided on, so like, let's do it, right? Okay, it's happening. Okay, so even if it's not going well, even if you're not going to be judged in a good way, God forbid, Rabbi Yitzhak continues that there's 4 things that can help you with that. If somebody else pick up there. All right, keeping the family. Good.
Rabbi Yitzhak taught 4 things avert the evil decree passed by God on a person: tzedakah, tefillah, change of name, and teshuvah.
And you want to just give the proof text there? So that's something that the Talmud, if you're not familiar with it, often does. It'll make a claim and then give you biblical proof texts. So Rabbi Yitzhak gives us 4 proof texts here. Actually 5. You want to keep going?
Sure. Tzedakah is written in Proverbs 10:2. Tzedakah delivers from death. Tefillah, in accordance with Psalms 107:19, they cry to Adonai when they are in distress, and God saves them out of their afflictions. Change of name, as it's written in Genesis 17:15, as for Sarai, thy wife, don't call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. And the text continues by saying, then will I bless her and give you a child also of her. Teshuvah, we deduce from Jonah 3:10, and God saw their actions, that they had turned from their evil ways, and immediately adds, and God relented from the evil God had said God would do to them, didn't do it.
And didn't do it, sorry. Typo. And then there's a 5th. Some say. Whenever you see some say or others say in the Talmud, it's a minority opinion. So this is the Sotomayor. Who are the other 2 liberals on the court? Sotomayor and Ketanji Jackson and so the minority opinion, there's a 5th way. So somebody, Rebecca, why don't you just read that as long as you have the microphone?
Some add to these for a 5th, change of location, as it is written, Genesis 12:1-2, and God said to Abraham, get out from thy land. I will make of you a great nation.
Okay, so I love this list. It's fascinating to me. Do you make anything of this? Do you have any reactions to what you're seeing? Professor?
I never realized that for Rosh Hashanah I should change my name and get out of town.
You should change your name and get out of town. That's right. Go to a shul where nobody knows you. Has anybody heard about there's a custom of changing your name if you're very ill? Anybody heard of this? Yeah. So,
So the angel of death can't find you.
Right. So, sort of the folk custom is that the angel of death will be confused, go to the wrong house, and, UPS will send them back, okay, come home to the home base, right? But change of name here is actually from the Talmud, how Sarai's name is changed to Sarah, and then she gets pregnant, which she hasn't been able to, right? So change your name and get out of town. Get out of town, the minority opinion, because I think the rabbis probably didn't want to lose people. We're always trying to make sure we have a minyan, right? So don't go late. Yeah.
It's interesting because in Unatana Tokef, we say, Staka, Utshuva, Tefillah, Ma'avirin, et Roa Hagzera, that those 3 things will reverse the decree. Maybe because it's alliteration, they were like, changing the name doesn't quite flow off the tongue, but I also kind of feel like changing your name is part of the act of teshuvah. Like, if you've gone through the process of teshuvah, you're not the same person anymore. So I kind of see that as like an under footnote of that. And then changing the location, I don't agree with the minority. I feel like people move to get a fresh start, and often they just end up doing the...
Wherever you go.
There you are.
Right, so, but you picked it out, right? Like the Moxor narrows it down. And this is question 3. Notice the list of things. ways that avert the evil decree. The rabbis narrowed it down. Tefillah, teshuva, tzedakah, right? Or I think our book, our Reconstructionist sponsor has tzedakah first. Yeah. So, why did, Adina, you want to, we have Adina and then Val. Can we pass the microphone?
The two that we don't hear as often, what kind of comes immediately to my mind for the first is kind of the queer context, changing your name, becoming yourself. There's so often this sense of, the name that you were given is not the name that you embrace, and so that feels very individualistic, which can be sometimes at odds with traditional Jewish communal thinking, so maybe that's why it's a minority opinion, I don't know. So that's number one. And then the other one, that the change of location, that makes me think of I can't remember if this is just a joke or if it's, but the whole idea of, you're in dire straits and God, you see the person with the floods coming, and someone comes with a helicopter, and someone comes with a boat, and you just stay there saying God's going to save me, and then you end up in heaven talking to God.
Dying from the flood.
Yeah, and then it's you didn't do what you could have done. So this idea of changing location, normal circumstances, I agree with you completely. Like where you go, there you are. But if it's about something that is truly dangerous to you, like having that out seems
right. So on the one hand, you've got the Sodom story, where Lot and his family have to get out, right? And for whatever reason, Lot's wife does she physically turn? Does she want to stay, right? And that proves to be disastrous for her. On the other hand, it's ironic that maybe not ironic, maybe you're supposed to think this, that they include Jonah, the Jonah story, in which Jonah tries to run away, right? Go to Nineveh, tell the people of Nineveh that they're doing the wrong thing. All right, I'm going to go to Tarshish, and then the boat, and it's not until they throw him overboard that it stops. So he can't escape his destiny. But very important thing what you're saying about trans folks, and that we have something called a dead name, right? When someone's previous name, before they embrace their identity, their appropriate identity, that the identity fits. We call that a dead name because their new name literally changes their entire being. Val, you had a comment, yeah.
I've heard the angel of death version.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the name, the change of the name. But what's striking me here about this text, and I'm going to ask the rabbis to comment on this, is that Sarai is the wife of a human, and Sarah, there's almost an implication that God is marrying Sarah. So God gives Sarah a name and then says, I will give you a child. Not you will have a child through her, but that I will be giving you a child, it says.
Yeah, God's talking now.
Yeah, God. So it's almost like he's solidifying a spiritual, semi-sexual, not really sexual, but sexo-spiritual progenitor,
What's so interesting, so first of all, so it's Avram and Sarai, become Avraham and Sarah. They both get Hayes, right? Avram gets Avraham, and Sarai gets Sarah, right? So there's something, breath, spirit, ruach, right? There's something godly that happens in that change of name, but I never really thought about what you're saying about the sexuality going on there. There is a tradition that they're both in the category which the Talmud gives us of tumtum, which means that they are ambiguous. Their gender is ambiguous, right? Which is, we talk about queer readings of text. It's incredibly powerful. The Talmud gives us a queer reading that they are potentially not capable of reproduction, either one of them, and it's through God's blessing that their names are changed and the Jewish people are born, right? I mean, it's pretty wild, right? So you could say, oh, but is it making gender queerness negative? I don't know how I feel about that. But I think we should talk about that more. I like that what you're saying.
Thank you.
First of all, Lori Lefkowitz wrote a wonderful book called In Scripture that is just a whole sort of gendered reading of the biblical narrative that is really...
Lori Lefkowitz?
Lori Lefkowitz. She's the head of the Jewish Studies program at Northeastern.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Should have talked to her.
The thing I was going to say is you can map these three, tzedakah, tefillah, and teshuvah, you can map onto the three circumstances that cause a person to remember their sins. So tefillah and teshuvah are inner things, and the first two are inner, and tzedakah is outer, it's for other people, which is when you invoke divine judgment on your neighbor. Tefillah is thinking deeply about the significance of prayer. And teshuvah happens when you realize that you've been wronged, and nothing convinces you that you've been wronged better than a knock on the head. So you walk by that wall and you realize, oh, I've done something wrong. I'm imagining divine retribution, so I need to do teshuvah. So it just, you can map those three onto the three responses to sin can be mapped onto the three causes of sin.
So that's good. You took the kind of the big finish away, but that's good. It means we're making connections. It means the text is doing the work. What I'd like to do, so Yasher Koach, right? So are the three that we picked do they match up to the three things that remind you? So each of us could potentially have a wake-up call, right? It could be an interaction with somebody else, could be a prayer, could be a moment of danger. We're just talking Reuben's nephew. Yeah. Nephew is in Marrakesh, just arrived in Marrakesh, and then the earthquake happened, right? So we have a blessing where we bench Gomel, and we say, oh my goodness, I almost died, right? Okay, wake up call, right? And then how do we respond to that? It's our stepping up into the space of tefillah, teshuvah, tzedakah that actually changes our outcome, which, so much of the high holidays has been described to me as, we are so small and you are so great, please don't squash us like bugs, right? Like kind of a student who didn't love the liturgy, right? But here's okay, but you can do something about it, right? So we started a little late, so I want folks 5 minutes, just talk to somebody else. Has something worked for you? Have you been able to respond to some sort of outside or maybe inner wake-up call, right? And have you done tefillah, teshuvah, tzedakah? Maybe you changed your place. Maybe you changed your name. Is there anything that's been effective in your life? So maybe find somebody to talk to, and we'll talk for a few minutes, and then we'll come back together, and then we'll move forward in our experience tonight. Yeah? Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, and I guess we got 3 folks online. I don't know if we can have them chat with each other. Yeah. Okay. I'll turn off my mic for this person.
I love this teaching. What's woken you up?
The city was scary, and that was the message that we got. When I was a teenager, I started going to Sister Night, to the city and buy records. Remember records?
What city are you from?
New York. Right, so we go to, West Village, Bleecker Bob's, and were you guys a parent? Were you a parent? Yeah, is that okay? Just trying to make sure that wasn't and we went to buy records and Canal Street, and somebody asked me for money. I said, oh my God, scary. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't have that. And the guy grabbed my arm. Then how do I tell this? I told this story. I go, I'm going to die. He's going to kill me. Because that's what happens in the city. Yeah. Poor people kill you. And he looked at me and he said, nobody's talked about that. as a person who was, I saw as a threat, was actually vulnerable, and that little gesture. So I think me, my social justice consciousness got raised in that moment. And this is a lot of tzedakah part.
That made me think of something that was not on my mind before you shared that story. My first, it was my first time in Israel. I went when I was 14 with my parents. We did an archaeological dig, and we were staying there for a week. And it was outside of a village close to Palestinians. And we would just dig in the morning, and then at like noon it was too hot. So the whole rest of the day we went to the beach. And it was just like us and like a few other American families, and then
Tel Aviv? No.
no, I think it was outside of Tel Aviv. I don't remember the name of the site. I can't remember it. And so for a week, I was like, and I was 14, so I would hang out with my parents. So for that whole week, I was hanging out with a bunch of Palestinian boys because they were like, oh, cool, an American girl who's 14 years old. Like, we want to hang out with you. The women weren't even on the beach at all. And I like became really good friends with a boy named Khalid Mawasi, and we stayed in touch for like 5 years, and that was after like years of Hebrew school indoctrination that Palestinians were terrible. Yes, exactly. Which I had like some suspicions of because I was a very rebellious 14-year-old, but actually having a friendship with someone, you know, it really had a huge impact on me. And was kind of the first time that I was like, wow, people who I thought I trusted have been lying to me this whole time. And yeah, I think that changed the course of the way that I understood Israel and the way that I felt when I went there.
So that was like a tzedakah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, if we come back in about a minute, does that seem okay? I hope so.
One more minute, everyone. Just finish up your conversation.
I really love that sugya about Dima's assistant taking the wrong person. Have you ever read that? The Angel of Death. There's a sugya in Talmud about the assistant to the Angel of Death going and getting the wrong Miriam. And it's a really interesting sugya about like how that happens. It also seems a little tongue-in-cheek. And this kind of funny, like your bureaucratic mistake.
Having done accounting for the last 2 years. Yeah. So we had some good convos up here. Maybe somebody wants to share what you chatted about in your groups. Pass that microphone around. Here comes Abby. Abby's the angel of life. Did you know that? Anyone report or what they shared or what someone else shared? It's too personal. You don't have to.
Oh, go ahead, Angel.
forgot what I was going to say.
All right.
Why am I liking this?
Because you've got so much going on.
Rabbi Mike, help me win an argument.
Help you win an argument?
In gender ambiguity in Hebrew, I believe there's exactly one time God's actually mentions their gender, and it is just, I am neither man nor woman, I am what I am.
Yeah, so
Something like
ehia,
that.
asher ehia, yeah, which is first person singular. So first person doesn't have a gender. So very convenient, like very useful. But if I do want to get back to this, but the other thing that you can say is that God creates the human being in the divine image, male and female, it says. So if male and female are created in the divine image, then, and God is a unity, that means God is gender queer, or I've just heard the phrase gender curious. That's my new favorite phrase. So yeah, but the men who redact things make it male.
Sort of like in
So
couples.
can we? How do we feel about focusing on the change part of this exercise? So things that have kind of woken you up, or processes that have made a change for you. So that's what. Yeah. Is that okay? Great.
Yes, in our group, there were two different instances of people in our families becoming seriously ill. And that is a wake-up call to remind you of the brevity of life and to pay attention to these things. And for some of us, it turns towards tefillah, for some towards tzedakah, for some towards teshuvah. If that's where they were with this person, it depends on the individual journey, but that was part of what we talked about.
Yeah, there's always Torah at a funeral traditionally, because standing in front of the open grave is a reminder of mortality and the finitude of life. So beautiful, yeah.
So I took a little bit of a spin on change of location.
Okay.
That it doesn't have to be a dramatic move across the country, across the world, but that even in a situation like that, it's a call to come closer. And that, for me, sometimes wake-up call, whether it's within family or within community or friends, is, particularly now that it's more possible, we need to move physically toward each other. We need to get off of Zoom and when possible, we need to get off of sort of Zoom and phone calls and be present with each other, or go see the person, or if you can, work from home where your partner is, so that you can share space and energy and time together. And so sometimes the evil to be averted, or the thing requires literally a change of location, or a movement toward.
I love that. I had never thought of the way that you're saying that with the technology, and we're so grateful that we've got folks on Zoom. But Lech Lecha, which is the proof text here of changing location, making a change in your life, Lech Lecha literally means go to yourself. So, and Rabbi Nachman talks about this, a lot of the rabbis talk about this, that when Abraham is told to change physically where he lives, and obviously Sarah, we don't want to forget that she had to fill out a change of address label too, that it's actually a return to self. And we have return again to Shuvah, return to the what of your soul?
Land of your soul.
Land of your soul. Yeah. That it's actually the turning into Shuvah, maybe returning to one's core self. Maybe one more comment. Yeah. Oh,
Coming.
one or two next. You got.
Another perspective on change of location.
Yeah.
I remember, Rebecca, I don't remember what the circumstances were recently, but I must have been on Zoom because I wrote down change of place. You talked about change of place, I think, and supporting change. And what I was thinking of is, I change my perspective. If I physically move, even just to that chair, I change my perspective. So I can see my situation from before differently, and that I'm able to reflect differently on what was,
or what is.
I love that. So if we're in the same relationship with some sort of aspect of the world, whether it's a relationship or a job or our own habits or whatever, right? And we're just like, okay, I'm going to think about this in a different way, right? I'm going to maybe physically get up, walk around the block, right? That's the end of Shiva traditionally, is walk around the block, right? Change where you sit in shul, you know. Try to sit over there. Seriously, like it can, yeah.
Or what if I try on that person's perspective?
Or try
Well,
that
it's
person's
weird.
perspective.
Yeah,
Even,
just-
that'd be even better. Nice, nice. All right, Nancy, I said that was the last one, but then I saw Nancy. Do you have to take the microphone? The people on Zoom probably can't hear you without the microphone. That's the problem. I know you hate it. I'm sorry. I wish we had magic,
Okay.
but I'm not a magician.
Well, I was thinking of tshuva, and for me, the last 2 years have been really different. I think I spoke of it when we met last time.
Yes.
So I've been feeling lately, with the holiday coming, like my tshuva is kind of learning how to take care of myself and not depend on others. And it's come out in weird ways. Like this morning I got up and I vacuumed my whole house. Now, is that something I would normally do? Not necessarily. And I started, and then I cooked for myself this week. I actually made dinner, you know.
Beautiful.
I'm sure that
Beautiful.
sounds weird to people, but
No, so
I'm a sort of a frozen person, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of eating. And I felt like cooking this week.
Good.
I haven't felt like cooking in, I don't know, 15 years or so. And
What'd you
and
make?
I did. I got all this up, and then I called my daughter because I told her, I said, I think I need vanilla for this thing I'm cooking.
What'd you make?
And she came over.
What did you cook?
What did I cook? I cooked a meat meal, which I don't usually do.
So we'll finish up with this. Thank
It was
you.
like a turkey casserole.
A turkey casserole. I love
Ground
that.
turkey.
A what? A wild turkey? No. What did you say?
Ground turkey.
Ground turkey. Oh, like a
No,
wild.
I've never seen a wild.
What, a wild turkey? No. Let's finish with that, and then we'll move on because I love that we.
And I put things in it that I usually just don't bother cooking anymore.
I love it. I love
think
it.
it's because I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'm not used to be. It's a
I
new
get
thing
it.
for me.
So we don't.
I think I don't want to cook, but then I decided I did want to cook. So I took the ground turkey and I put in vegetables. I put in rice. I put in all kinds of herbs and stuff.
I love it.
Stuff I haven't used in years.
I love it.
We're coming for leftovers.
So, and I'm sorry to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you off because we've got a whole service to go. But we don't always talk about the teshuva internal. To repair the injuries to oneself, because it can be, too many sermons like that start to sound a little self-indulgent and self-help and stuff like that, right? But think about it. People are coming over. I have to clean. People are coming over. I have to cook, right? What we would do for somebody else, sometimes for those of us who have this same
I
child,
was doing it only for
you do it for yourself because you are B'Tselem Elohim. You're created in the image of God, every person. So if I can recognize the divinity in somebody I'm having a hard time with and we're wrestling, right? I'm like, oh, me too. So as we return to ourselves, may we return to a holy and just relationship with the world and our society and our state and our county, with the people that are in our world or in the individual folks, with ourselves. Ken Yiratzon, it should happen.
Ken Yiratzon.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi Mike.
Thank you.
What a beautiful teaching. It's so nice to be here at
So
CBH.
nice to be here.
And we're going to go on a musical prayer journey together tonight. We're going to do it through song, through wisdom, through our bodies. And in order to start this journey on the right foot, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if you're comfortable and find your way into the present moment. Find your way here to this room. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can just soften your gaze and look in front of you. If your eyes are closed, if you can, imagine a path through the woods that you're walking on, and there's a backpack on your back. Picture the dirt on the road, the leaves glimmering in the dusk light. Listen to the sound of the path. Maybe there's some birds chirping, a little scamper of squirrels. The cicadas beginning their nighttime chorus. Take a deep breath. Smell the scents of the path, of the pine and muscadine trees bearing fruit. Pick one of those muscadines and taste its sweetness. Raise your gaze up ahead and see that the road opens up to the base of a mountain of granite and stone. You know that in a moment you will need to leave the woods to climb. And suddenly you become very aware of the load you are carrying. Your backpack is full of missed opportunities, of missed steps from the past year. It is full of the emotions that you carry that hinder you from being your best self. And it is full of the potential of growth within you. It's full of the encounters, the positive encounters, and the love of others that beckon you forward. As you keep walking, notice what else is in your bag. What else are you carrying? This is the moment we are in right now as we enter the last week before Rosh Hashanah, stepping into deeper awareness of all that we carry. Awakening our five senses, just like we do during Havdalah, so we can go on this journey together, connected with our bodies and our surroundings and the people surrounding us. And tonight, we're going to sing prayers that will guide us on the way through the days of awe. And beckon us up the mountain. So as we sing through Havdalah, and you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them and rejoin the room, keep investigating what you're carrying in this moment. What are you bringing into the days of awe? Up the mountain. Da Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh. Ay ay ya da 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 ay ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ay ay ya da 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 ay ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei besamim borei minei besamim. Ay ay ya da 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 ay ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ay ay ya da 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 ay ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. At the end we jingle. Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ay ay ya da 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 ay ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ay ya da 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 ya da da. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben nior vechoshech ben Yisrael le'amim ben yom hashvi'i l'sheshet yemei hamaseh. Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Ay ay na 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 ay ay na 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 ay da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ay na 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 ya da 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 ya da da. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Elia.
Eliyahu.
Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hatishbi. Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Agiladi. Bimhera le'aminu yavo eleinu.
1234 in your machzors if you want to see.
Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Miriam HaNeviah, Oz veZimra beyada, Miriam Tirkos koditanu lehagdil zimrat olam. Miriam dir koditanu letaken et haolam. Bimhera v'yameinu hitavienu el mei ha-Yeshua, el mei ha-Yeshua. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Mir Hera Yavo Elenu, Mashiach ben David. Mir Hera Yavo Elenu, Mashiach ben David. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, yadai, yadadai, 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 yadai. Hi, yadai, 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 hi, yadai, 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 Shavua Tov.
Good week. Gute Woche in Yiddish. If you want, just like we have Shabbos hugs, you can do a Shavua Tov hug with somebody if they want and you want, just to say, hey, happy week. Yeah. So it's up
High
to
fives
you.
are also good.
High fives are good. Waves are good. Shavua Tov. Yeah.
I do just want to share that I did the brachot in the wrong order. We start with the kiddush, then we do besamim, the spices, and then we end with the fire. I do not know what happened to me. I just was so taken by that flame. I wanted to bless it immediately. But don't take the wrong instructions from how I just did it. You go up the face. You start with the drink, then the smell, then the eyes when you do Havdalah.
Well, there's also a teaching that you're not supposed to make a blessing in vain. So what you did was you put the blessing for the drinking closer to the drinking. So I thought that was an alternate. I just thought that was just like another version of how you do it.
Oh.
It is now. There are those who say you put the drinking less. Yeah, some say.
Very Talmudic.
So in a minute, we are going to start this prayer service of Selichot. We're going to switch the Torah mantles, and we'll move the Torah table out. I see Abby is already on it because Abby is the angel that makes everything happen. It's a mitzvah not to hold a grudge, turns out. Need some help? So, yeah, it's right. It's Leviticus, right? I love your neighbor as yourself. It says, don't hold a grudge against your neighbor. And it's not in Hebrew, obviously, but grudge, the word grudge, it sounds like what it is to me, right? And it sounds like sludge. It's gloppy. And budge, which is like the least amount of movement you could do, which is barely budge, right? So, often, I won't budge, right? What's fudge? Fudge! Now, fudge is delicious, but also kind of stuck, right? And so, There's Torah everywhere. There's Torah everywhere. Ha-fochma, turn it, because everything is in it, including fudge. Which we love, but again, sticky, hard to move. So Selichot, which literally means pardons or excuse me's, right? This is the overture, right? You're going to hear a lot of the music that we're going to hear over the next couple weeks. what does it mean to let go? And I've learned so much about movement already from my friend Rebecca. To start just moving around, like the grudge that's, I think of a tight neck and a tight shoulder. So maybe just like let your shoulders relax and feel your neck move around. Don't do it too much, you might get dizzy. But slowly, you know, like, they're so tight, right? So just like the muscles, the fascia, I love to say that, they can get tight and stuck. If you're going one way, go the other way. Our forgiveness, reconciliation, teshuva muscles can get tight. You can get stuck in a budgy, sludgy grudge. Right? So like, let's just practice. As we go through this beautiful prayer with these amazing leaders, what does it feel like to start to stretch some of those tissues and feel some opening happen?
One of the things that I was struck by in the teaching earlier, these three teachings of being by a wall and condemning someone, my language, and prayer, they all have the potential for emotion. And right, fear, anger, or righteousness, self-righteousness, or in prayer, just like prayer that can move, like that can open you. And so I just want to offer that as a kavanah, that movement that emotion is often an opportunity for us to move, things to move, that want to move. So just as we're moving our bodies and we're slowing into a different pace, and sound that has vibration and literally moves the water in our bodies, that emotion also, we have all of these tools to help things move through us, move together, coalesce, move out of us, move us towards each other. And just to offer that as a kavanah for sound that we're about to step into in a lovely way for the next bit of time.
Which is perfect, because the next thing we're going to sing is Pitchu li, open up for me the gates of justice.
Yeah.
And the poteach, like poteach et yadecha, open your hands. And Pitchu li, by the way, Nancy said, it's not Pitchu lanu, this isn't open for us, it's open for me, right? So you want to feel a little self-love and say, I'm ready to, I'm walking into the gates of justice, here we go. So we're going to invite everyone to rise as we start to open.
And this is on page 1242 in the prayer book, the Machzor, in transliteration and Hebrew.
Oh,
And we're going to do it, we're going to sing this as a bit of a chant. So the invitation is just to kind of stay with it for a little while as we change the mantles. Welcome in this new period of time. Thank you. 1242. Pitchu li sha'aret tzedek, avovam odeya. 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 שערי צדק, הבובה, אודיה, פיתחו לי, 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 שערי צדק, הבובה, אודיה, כולי, שערי צדק, הבובה, אודיה, פיתחו לי, שערי צדק, הבובה, אודיה.
Maybe seated. So it turns out, so there are two more white mantles somewhere. They are not here. So Teshuvah is a process. So we changed one of the mantles. And by the time we get to Rosh Hashanah, the other two will be changed. And thank you, Jackie, for stepping up when I was struggling. Teshuvah also requires teamwork and people helping you. So we appreciate you.
There is something that psychiatrists call the repetition compulsion, the unconscious craving to master the unresolved elements in our life. We keep returning to those elements again and again, trying to move past it and break through. The word teshuvah is rooted in this returning. When we misstep, when we act in an uncaring way, we create a distance between ourselves and God. We remove ourselves from the presence of the Holy One, step out of awareness of the oneness of life. And we deeply long for this connection to the oneness of life because we can feel that it is precious, and we feel different when we step outside of it. The whole essence of teshuvah is longing, yearning, and pining to return again to presence. This version of Ashrei by Ali Halpert is an invitation to joyfully step back into presence and celebrate our returning. To sing out that every day is new and a chance for us to recreate ourselves. Ashrei Yoshvei, Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa, Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa, Oje Halelucha, Selah, Ashrei Yoshvei, Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa, Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa, Oje Halelucha, Selah. I sing for you. I sing for what is holy and is true. I sing for all creation, for life and liberation. Every day anew, I sing for you. I sing for all is holy and is new. I sing for all creation, for life and liberation. Every day anew. Ashrei Yoshvei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Oje Alelucha, Selah. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Oje Alelucha, Selah. So we've made mistakes. New. What else is new? We're all unfinished. You're not finished yet. But we are committed to the task of growing. I know that because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. And we do that most effectively through compassion and facing the truth. Holy One, show us how to have mercy on ourselves. Examiner of hearts, reveal to us our depths. Chatan. Do we need a page number?
It's on your supplement. Chatanu
Supplement.
lefanecha.
Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Adon haslichot bochen levavot gole amukot dover tzedakot chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Hador beniflaot vatik benechamot zocher brit avot choker kelayot. Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Male zachiyot nora tehilot soleach avonot One vatsorot chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Chatanu lefanecha rachem aleinu. Yedadai, ay, 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 hi, dai, ay, dai, ay, dai, 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 ay, dai, 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 ay, 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 yo.
In a minute, we're going to rise for the 13 attributes of God, which we chant on the high holidays and on other chagim, other of the pilgrimage holidays. You're going to find it on page 11, 61 and 62. The third paragraph from the bottom. We don't say it on Shabbat, so this will be the only time you hear it until Yom Kippur. Although we'll do a second day?
Unless you come to Rosh Hashanah day 2.
So we'll do it Rosh Hashanah day 2. Oh, good. Yay. The context of this is that the golden calf has happened. That's super bad, and not bad in a good way, bad in a bad way. The Israelites have forgotten who they are, and they've made a cow, a gold cow, into a god. That's silly. But it's a real rupture between God and the Israelites. And it's an existential crisis for Moses, who has devoted his life to this work of a God of justice and love and compassion throughout all space and time. And these are the words of comfort that come back to him. We talked about God's identity. Angel asked us about that before. And look at all of the possibilities here. So we've got Adonai and Adonai again, in case you missed it the first time. And we've got, and by the way, that's a thing in the Torah, repeating Abraham, Abraham, right? Like, this is really important, pay attention, yeah? But then we've got all of these metaphors and identities for God. El Rachum v'Chanun, God of loving, let's see what it say, God of loving and compassionate. Racham, like Rachamim, passion. Erech Apayim, a stretching out, literally a stretching out of the nose parts, which is, flared nostrils are like anger. So slow to anger. And Rav Chesed, great in compassion. The Emet, and truth. And forgiving to the 1000th generation. There's so many possibilities here. We're supposed to follow God in this model, right? What is it? I never know how to pronounce it. Imitatio Dei? Is that how you say it? Something like that? Yeah. You're supposed to be like God. We are created, supposedly, to be God-like. We can be holy, it says. Atem Kedoshim. You be holy because I'm holy. We're in this together. I invite you, as you listen to these words, to come into, even in the moments that are most broken, like Moses seeing his project temporarily just blown up in front of him. What part of this can be comforting to you? What part of this can you inhabit? Maybe being excessively patient is not your thing this year. Okay. You've got other possibilities. Can you be abundant in compassion? Maybe you can't be fully forgiving. And maybe you don't have to be. But maybe you can see the possibility of a new start. Where is the opening in these words for you? I invite you to just let it wash over you, and potentially, if it works, maybe start to enter into you as we rise in body or spirit. Again, 11, 61, and 62 for these 13 attributes.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Echanun, Erech Apayim, Verav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Pesha V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Pesha V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, invite you to turn to page 1088 in your Machzor. 1088, 1088.
I'm going to talk to you first, though. Shema Kolenu, hear our voices. We are asking because we need to be heard, especially at this time of year, when we're being asked to critically examine ourselves, to dive into our depths and look at the hard stuff that's hard to look at, where we still need to grow. In these last moments before we enter into the days of deep teshuvah, we need to know that we will be heard with compassion when we cry out our truths through prayer. This tune, Tishma Kolenu, is a way of practicing that. And we're going to explore some different ways of crying out. But first, we're going to learn how it goes. So repeat after me. Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Chus v'rachem aleinu. Yeah. Chus v'rachem aleinu. And then this part is together. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Beautiful. Okay. So for this first round, we're going to sing this prayer like a plea. Shema Kolenu, please hear us. Hear our voices. I'm not sure if I will be heard if I don't ask. And I'm asking from a place deep in my core, like the deepest yearning that I have, the deepest need to be seen, to be heard. That voice of that little child. See me. Listen to me. See if you can channel that and sing that way. Sing that yearning. Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Shema Kolenu,
Chus v'rachem aleinu.
Chus v'rachem aleinu.
V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. V'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu. The second round, we're going to sing it a little differently. Shema Kolenu can be, please hear my voice, but Shema can also be read as an imperative. a command. Hear me. Listen. Listen up, God. You must pay attention. You must hear me. I am worthy. I am worthy of your care. I am here. So let's sing again from a place of deep knowing that you are worthy to be heard. And that the one to whom you sing has no choice but to hear you. Shema koleinu,
Shema koleinu,
Shema koleinu,
Shema koleinu,
chus verachem aleinu,
chus verachem aleinu,
v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu. Whew. For this last and final round, we're going to go into major. And I invite you for this round to let your voice bring you into deeper presence. Presence with your own soul, presence with those around you, maybe singing at just the volume that your neighbor can hear you and you can hear your neighbor singing out their call. Let's step into a deeper knowing of Kolenu and of Shema, of our voices and of listening. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, chus verachem aleinu, chus verachem aleinu, v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu 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 v'kabel berachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu, Shema Kolenu. We are asked to step into this place of presence throughout High Holidays, to return to connection with self, to face truths that we may fear. We sing Hashiveni v'nashuva, return me and I will return. Return us to deep intimacy, like we were an infant held by one who loves us. On the handout? Great. On the supplement. If you help us return to that state, then we can return to a self that is more loving, more knowing, more connected. The words of this prayer are taken from Eicha, from Lamentations. But there's a very similar line found in our Torah service and throughout High Holidays. And so I love singing this on High Holidays because it has this message of teshuvah, of returning. And you'll find that these words and how the melody guides us through these words really brings us through all of these steps of kolenu, of asking, of demanding, and of presencing. Hashiveni v'nashuva Hashiveni v'nashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Chadesh, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Hashiveni v'nashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Chadesh, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Hashiveni ve'ashuva Chadesh, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
If you have any Eastern European lineage in your family, you might be from the Yaidadai people. And you would know that the Hasidic world came up with the idea of the nigun, the nigun. When you can't express something in words, or the words are not sufficient, you yai-da-dai. You know, we've done some yai-da-dais tonight. There's a Hasidic story of a student going to the Rebbe and taking a look or thinking about or meditating on the vidui, the public confession that we do on Yom Kippur. We say Hashamnu, Agadnu, Zalnu, and you might know in the and so the student asked the Rebbe, like, this is very hard, these are hard words. Why are we singing like a little tune in between that doesn't feel right somehow, Rebbe? And the Rebbe says, look, it's like when you have a sink full of dishes, right? I don't know if they had sinks, I'm making it up. You have dirty dishes, you have dirty pots, right? You gotta clean them. It's the truth of the matter, is you just have to take care of it, right? And it's not always fun. You're happy when it's over, because you did it. But so you scrub, and there's, they say in the commercial, stubborn stains, right? Yeah, so we've got some stubbornness, right? So you're scrubbing and you're washing, and sometimes you sing a tune. I'm scrubbing. Right? You're getting all the stains out, right? You just whistle while you work, I guess was the Disney version, right? So you just sing a tune because you're doing the thing. And the Rebbe said it's like that, We got some stubborn stains. We got some stuff. We got some schmutz. We got to scrub it out. Okay. So while we do that, to help us get there, sometimes you hum a little tune. Sometimes you find yourself being able to get through the difficulty of this work, of this introspective work, and this communal work of figuring out how to come home through music. So we're going to rise, and we are going to hum a little tune as we begin the process of doing a little scouring and scrubbing to find the shiny beauty underneath. I invite you to rise. We're on 1168 for our vidui, our confession.
And our yai-da-dais, our little tune interlude in between this, is an opportunity. It's a kavanah that we'll use, inspired and coming through Marnie Loffman, a singer-songwriter in the world right now, who put the words "awaken my soul" to the yai-da-dai section. So we're gonna use that as a kavanah. So as we are scrubbing and working our stains, that we're also saying, please awaken our souls, even as we're working these out. We're awakening. Awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul. Hashamnu, Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, Dibarnu Dofi. Awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul. Hevinu, Hevinu, Vehir Shanu, Vehir Shanu, Zadnu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Hamasnu, Hevinu, Hevinu. Awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul, Tznuah, Kazavnu,
Kazavnu.
I don't, cannot see. Ulatznu, Maranu, Natznu, Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Ore, awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul, awaken my soul. Rashanu, Shichadnu, Tiavnu, Tahinu, Titanu, awaken my soul, awaken my soul.
Maybe see.
One would think that after heaven and earth have been established, the Holy One would create a holy place, a mountain or a holy spring, to put a sanctuary there for all of us to go and be holy. Yet, that did not happen. Rabbi Joshua Heschel points out that in the Tanakh, in the Bible, it is holiness in time, Shabbat, which comes first. And then at Sinai, a call for holiness in you is proclaimed. To me, be a holy people. It's only after the people break with God and do that calf thing you were talking about earlier, the calf thing, that a tabernacle is created. A holiness in space is commanded. The sanctity of time came first, the sanctity of humankind second, and the sanctity of space finally. These three holies, holy time, space, and holy souls, must come together to complete the journey of Teshuvah. In this prayer, Shomer Yisrael, would you mind putting the words up here for Shomer Yisrael for me?
I don't know where they're. I don't know that we have them.
Oh, okay. I didn't print them out. I think I know it. Okay. If I don't, I'll just switch to die. Anyway, the words, Shomer Yisrael, in this prayer, we proclaim that we are a Goy Kadosh, a holy people. And we ask God to guard Sharit Yisrael, the remnant of Israel. Those of us that are still here, still showing up to take on the challenge, Sharit Yisrael, to bring the difficult work of change. So we don't have the Hebrew, so I invite you to just ooh the tune with me, and we'll usher in these three holies together. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael. Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael, Shomer, shomer, goy kadosh, shemor sheritam kadosh. Shomer, shomer, goy kadosh, shemor sheritam kadosh. Ve'al yovad, goy kadosh, ve'al yovad, goy kadosh ha'omrim. Ha'omrim, ha'omrim, Shema Yisrael. Ay, 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 Ha'omrim, 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 Shema Yisrael.
Who shows up and is like, here's what you need to say.
God bless that man.
God bless that man.
Speaking of
Avinu.
dads,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme, we're gonna move ourselves into one of the kind of the well-knowns of the well-knowns of the holiday, the melody and the words Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. I have lots of feelings about this. Maybe you do too. And I've been on a life journey around this, and in this moment, I want all the metaphors of God. I want all the metaphors of the divine. So I sit with this one as it is, and see what it feels like to feel my own kingness, my own fathering, my own sovereignty. And I pair it, and we're going to pair it tonight with some words that are on your supplement. These are words that Kohenet Riv Shapiro wrote several years ago now. And this is called, she refers to this as a mother's response. You see, it says, slow down, a mother's response. And these, to me, the words of this, sung to the tune of Avinu Malkeinu, give us an opportunity to be in the realm of nature, in the realm of slowing down, in the realm of opening to ourselves, so that when we find ourselves singing the Avinu Malkeinu, we've opened ourselves to sort of a holiness, to our own regality, to our own sovereignty. And maybe that metaphor sits differently. So we'll start off, and you're just going to go on one side to the next. Just let these words come through you and around you. Slow down, child, slow down. Slow down and listen to the wind. All comes together, all falls apart, forming anew your beating heart. And just stop for a moment and feel the pause of your own heartbeat. Slow down, child, slow down. Slow down and you will receive. Life wants to meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. A river flows from within you to where you will go. The current Slow down, child, slow down. Slow down and you will be shown the love that was always lifting you up. You are never alone. A river flows from within you to where you will go. The current carries you home. Let your life unfold. Slow down, child, slow down. Slow down and listen to the wind. All comes together, all falls apart, forming anew your beating heart.
Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Aseh imanu, tzedaka b'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka b'chesed, ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Can be seated.
As always, we take this time during our service to remember the people who are the building blocks of who we are, the people on whose shoulders we stand, who taught us the lessons of how to awaken our souls and how to return to ourselves, sometimes in a positive way, sometimes with a negative example. We love them. We remember them. I invite you, as we are about to say Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, on 12/15, if there's someone who's recently died, or you're celebrating a yahrzeit, the year-time anniversary of their death, I invite you to stand up and say those names out loud. Margie.
Sandra Forgan, Susie Bennett, and Nancy Gray.
My Aunt Rita Dressler.
Samuel LeVay.
Mike Froman, Herb Goldsey.
Anyone on Zoom who'd like to unmute themselves and share a name? I invite you to do so. It is our custom at CBH, when we get to the fourth line, that we rise together as a community in support of the mourners who are among us, as well as in memory of those who die every day of war, of hate, of hunger, of abuse, neglect, improper health care, those killed al Kadush Hashem for the sanctification of God's name among the Jewish people. And that is the fourth line in the Hebrew on 12:16, and it's the fifth line in the transliteration. Kaddish Yatom, Mourners Kaddish, 12:16. Yitkadal, Yitkadal, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Chirutei, Ve'amlich Malchutei, B'chayechon Uv'yomechon, B'chayei Dechal Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uv'izman Karib B'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'almei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, Yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yit Hadar, V'yit Alev, V'yit Halal, Shemei Dekudesha, Barichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata B'Shirata, Tushbachata B'Nechemata, Damiran B'Alma, Imru, Amen. Yehei Shlam Araba Min Shmaya, B'Chaim Aleinu B'Al Kol Yisrael, Imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Bramav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael, V'Al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Mimru. Amen. Zecher Tzadik Livracha from the book of Proverbs, the memory of the righteous, always for a blessing. We say amen. Amen. May be seated. We are super blessed that Jackie Sherman is here to offer the holy business of the community, some announcements. Yes?
I'm actually going to make these relatively short. I want to thank Abby Garcia, our on-site staff and Zoom mistress, and our service leaders, Rabbi Ariel, Rabbi Mike, Rebecca Goldsmith. There are a lot of upcoming events. I want to include Ma'alot, although I don't know what they are, but I know that you're doing some kinds of services. So
I'll say a few things when you're done.
Okay. So we have high holiday services at Friday night and Saturday at St. Bart's, and then on Sunday here for the second day. There's a full schedule. I recommend that you look at High Holiday Central. And I want to make a particular pitch for the fact that without bread, there is no Torah. So encourage you to contribute to our High Holiday Appeal or the Ma'alot High Holiday Appeal.
Or both.
Or both, for that matter. That's right. And the office will be closed Friday, basically Friday through Tuesday, and I assume yours as well. So there are lots of other things. Look at Bet Mail.
Well done.
Do I have to speak into this one?
On Sunday at 1,
tomorrow.
That would be tomorrow, thank you. That's right. There is yet another protest against authoritarian rule in Israel and for democracy. It's Sunday. You can find out that information if you go, I'm not sure where, but nevertheless, I'm going to be there, and this is, I think the 40th week of mass protest demonstrations in Israel, and we are being called upon to join our voices for Israeli democracy. So I think it's at the consulate at 1.
You shared the...
I shared the flyer.
Yeah.
So I just would have to look at that.
Yeah, I think it ends at the consulate. Yeah.
Starts somewhere and it ends at the consulate.
Abby, were you trying to get in a word? Or were you? No, okay.
Yeah, I'll just share what's coming up for Ma'alot. We have our annual Rosh Hashanah hike. It happens Erev Rosh Hashanah at Arabia Mountain. We hike up at 5 o'clock and do a mountaintop service around 7. the rest of our services, we're going to have Rosh Hashanah Day 1 and 3 Yom Kippur services will all be outdoors at Emory University. And you can find all the information and register on our website. We'll also be having kids programs for the first time, which is very exciting, and a number of communities partners. And if you are coming to any of the Yom Kippur services, please come to my house the week before for our singing circle to learn some of the tunes and get ready for Yom Kippur.
What do you do if it rains?
Singing in the rain.
My dad shows up again. We're moving to the Ethics Center at Emory University if it rains. We are in a pavilion, so if it lightly rains, it actually really enhances the vibe.
Brilliant.
Which happened the first year we did it.
So are you heading into a final song?
I was going to.
So before
kind
you
of
do that, I
peacefully.
just want to say how exciting it is for Malo and CBH to be together, how just totally jazzed I've been to work with you, Rabbi, and with the amazing Rebecca, which is now your official title.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all of the parts of Nancy's cooking, and sometimes you need the spices and the vegetables and the meat, and it's the mélange that makes it work. So so excited that we got to do this, and we got some other stuff planned. We got some other stuff cooking we're gonna do together.
Great.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, what a dream team. How could I stay away from these two? We're going to end with Pete Rouli on page 1242.
Which is really how we started. So opening those gates, really, we'll be doing that for a while.
Pete Rouli Sharei Tzedek Avova Modeya Pete Rouli Sharei Tzedek Avova Modeya Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo Pete Rouli Sharei Tzedek Avova Modeya Pete Rouli Sharei Tzedek Avova Modeya Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da da Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da 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 Yada da da Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo Zeh Hashar L'Adonai Tzadikim Yavovo. Shavua Tov. May you be blessed on the road of Teshuvah in the coming weeks.
May all of our holidays be full and opening.
Amen.